My fifth step to recovery, based on the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, this is my fifth step to recovery. The fifth step is we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Okay? So, if you've been following this series I've been doing on recovery, then you will know we've already done 4 steps prior to this one. If you're watching this one as the first one that you've seen, I would suggest you stop this video and go back and watch the previous 4 beforehand. Let's do a quick recap of what the previous 4 were. We admitted we were powerless over our addiction and our lives had become unmanageable. Okay, so if you are struggling with alcoholism or addiction and you feel that your life is no longer manageable, which you probably do, then that would be the first step. The second step is we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Obviously, we can't do it alone, right? And I've covered this in all the previous videos, so be sure to go back and check them out if you haven't seen them already. Then the third step, which is we made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. And then the fourth step, which is one of the big ones, the first step and the fourth step were 2 of the harder ones. There's another hard one later on, but we'll get to that later. The fourth step is we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Now, that one is kind of difficult because we have to be honest with ourselves. And I covered that in that video. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. Now, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let me know if you've done the 12 steps or if you're planning to do the 12 steps or, where you're at with that. If you're not an addict, that's fine too. These 12 steps are good for just good mental health. Like getting in touch with yourself and understanding who you are. So, yeah. And basically, what the fifth step is, this is a shorter one. And honestly, you should be working them with a sponsor if that's possible. If you are new into recovery, I would suggest going to a meeting, to a Narcotics Anonymous or an Alcoholics Anonymous. And if you are the spouse or a loved one of someone that is dealing with addiction, maybe check out an Al-Anon meeting. Al-Anon meetings are for the family and friends and loved ones of people that are trapped in their addiction or alcoholism. So Al-Anon is really good for understanding how you, as the person that's not addicted, should act with the person that is, because a lot of times there's codependency and we try to cover up for the individual that's suffering, and sometimes that's not always the best thing to do. So like I said, if you're not an addict or an alcoholic, but you have somebody that's in your life that is, maybe you should check out an Al-Anon meeting. They can be very helpful for I don't want to say the someone that isn't affected by alcoholism or addiction, because you don't have to be an alcoholic or an addict to be affected by it. Someone in your life can be, turning your life unmanageable basically because of their alcoholism or addiction. So basically, in the previous steps, the previous 4 steps, we have recognized our wrongs, and now it's time that we admit them to others. And that could be family, like when I first got clean, like I had a lot of stuff to admit, in regards to, yeah, you know what, I was tweaking, uh, I was trying to be low key, and, I thought I was fooling everybody, but I wasn't fooling nobody, and if you're stuck in your alcoholism or addiction, chances are you're not fooling anybody either. You know, I mean, maybe you are, maybe you're that one in a million, I don't know. But this step is all about, like I said, we've already recognized our wrongs in the previous steps. Now it's about admitting them to others. And the thing is, like I said, it's important to work with a sponsor if at all possible, because they can guide you in the right direction. And what I would suggest is that you find a home meeting. And basically, what a home meeting is it's the meeting that you feel comfortable at, and you can network with folks who are at that meeting. Find somebody that's got some clean time under their belt, 5 years, 10 years plus, and they will help you with working through these steps. Now, another way that we can admit to others our wrongs is by speaking at these meetings. By the time you're at the 5th step, I'd say you're probably ready. Most people don't like public speaking, and I was one of those people. But by listening to other people share their stories and stuff, it made it a lot easier, because they, put their vulnerabilities out there, and it made it easier for me to do the same. Now, I'm not saying, that you have to talk about your deepest, darkest secrets in these meetings, but people will tell their war stories, and, where their addiction or their alcoholism took them. And at some point, you will feel comfortable enough to get up and share your story as well. And this is really important for the newcomers, because, you were once in those shoes, as working these steps. If you're onto the 5th step already, chances are you got a little bit of time under your belt. Maybe you have a year clean. And it's really important for that new individual that's coming to the meeting to hear your story, because being able to relate to what somebody else went through and help you realize that you're not as, you're not all that different. Because a lot of times when we're we have an addiction, or we have, we're dealing with alcoholism, it's because we don't necessarily fit in, or we don't feel that we fit in. But, NA and AA are, those meetings are great as far as, finding commonalities with other folks, and realizing that, what, your situation isn't so crazy that no one else has been through it, because chances are other people have been through similar circumstances to what you've been through. So that's my 5th step to recovery. Like I said, this is a shorter one, but I wanted to get it out because I know some of you enjoy these. And, I'm hoping that it helps somebody with, moving along with their recovery. Hope everybody is having a great day. I'm going to try to start putting out 3 full-length videos a week, and a couple of shorts, something motivational, or just something that may be on my mind that I feel like others may be able to relate with, and hopefully it will help somebody. So that's the fifth step. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. And like I said, if you're at the point of the fifth step, chances are you have a little bit of sobriety under your belt already, and you're getting out of that fog that engulfed your mind when you were poisoning yourself, basically, with whatever it is you were using. So remember, it's about building a strong foundation around you. Uh, they say if you want to know what a person's about, show me their friends. If you're hanging around people that are using or drinking, then odds are that's what you're doing as well. So you got to make that total life change, and it's definitely worth it. So if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, hit that thumbs down and drop a comment and tell me why. If you have a little bit of sobriety under your belt, comment your sobriety date. It's really good for people that are just getting started, and tell me how you did it. For me, it was prison. It was plenty of times being incarcerated. And, I just felt like I owed it to my wife and my kids to show them what a good man looks like. So I also have a TikTok page. It's Broken Bobby 72 on TikTok. So you can jump, if you're on TikTok, you can jump on TikTok and check that out. Give me a follow over there if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. Uh, anyways, like I said, I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope this helped. And don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.